Listeners, we welcome you to our program Farm to City, Episode 2.
हर जोखिम से निकल कर फसल आए, सुरक्षित हो जाए। बीमा से हर किसान अब आत्मनिर्भर हो जाए।
संकट के समय प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना किसानों के लिए वरदान है।
अब सूखा पड़े या बाढ़ आ जाए कोई डर नहीं। अब ओले पड़े या कीट पतंगे फसल खा जाए कोई फिक्र नहीं, क्योंकि हमने लिया है प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा।
बुआई से फसल कटाई तक हर जोखिम का दावा, न्यूनतम प्रीमियम पर अधिकतम भुगतान का वादा।
योजना से हर साल जुड़ रहे हैं 5 करोड़ से ज्यादा किसान। अब आपकी है बारी।
नजदीकी कृषि कार्यालय, सहकारी समिति, बैंक शाखा, अधिकृत बीमा कंपनी या जन सेवा केंद्र में स्वेच्छा से करा सकते हैं पंजीकरण।
फसल बीमा पोर्टल या फसल बीमा ऐप द्वारा भी कराया जा सकता है पंजीकरण।
प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना, आपकी फसलों का संपूर्ण सुरक्षा कवच। कृषि एवं किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय।
As more and more young people explore career beyond conventional jobs, a growing number are returning to the land with fresh ideas, innovations, and a renewed passion for agriculture. They are proving that farming is not just a profession. It is a meaningful way to create opportunities, ensure food security, and contribute to a healthier and more sustainable future. Yet, despite depending on farmers every single day, many urban consumers rarely get the opportunity to hear directly from the people who grow their food. Most of us simply pick up fresh fruits and vegetables from the market without even realizing the dedication, patience, and hard work that goes into every harvest. Today, we are delighted to speak with a young and successful farmer who is not only cultivating quality produce, but is also helping to bridge the gap between the farm and the city through innovation, sustainable farming practices, and a commitment to quality. Our guest is building a stronger connection between farmers and consumers.
Kat nungak men ban pet yaka dur Jongphi Kikmat ki palang med patsi Pilong jinker men wat la ha dum ni shai Dei ka ni ka dao ngam kuslai
Men sim ka dap jink men shisha Pi wan shon sha pa jing Jogna Kum usim piling punong Pi ai thapa Banj ngai na pi da le ngam kwa Ngai na pi da le ngam kwa
Pi long jinker men bapen da ya men sim Ngai ngu yu le nong
Dap jink men shisha Pi wan shon sha pa jing em jogna Kum usim piling punong Pi ai thapa
Banj ngai na pi da le ngam kwa
Ngai na pi da le ngam kwa
Angin long kawe Kawe baro sherta
Men sim ka dap 完全下爬进眼中啊，共无声不灵不弄，皮爱他吧，本在那皮的累累硬挂，在那皮的累累硬挂。
Thank you for joining us today, Afu Jana. It's a pleasure to have you on Farm to City.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Janet. Greetings to everybody. I'm Afu Jana, and we've been doing organic farming for quite a while now.
Wow, that's very interesting. Well, on that note, then I would like to ask you my very first question as to what do you mean by organic farming?
Organic farming, mainly it means whatever you do, your farm practices, they should all be aligned with a sustainable objective. And the productivity of the soil as well, in turns, in results it shows. Because when it comes to organic farming, it means you're not exerting any sort of external pressure on the soil, meaning you're adding BLA, all these additives, boosters on the soil. It's just the natural way, like the natural procedure, whatever has to occur, all the chemical reactions, the nitric content, the phosphoric content, there's no imbalance when it's organic.
Let's listen now to this pretty young person who chose farming. What inspired you as such a young person to choose farming when many people your age prefer city jobs, a boy from the city? What changed?
It's a good question. The main reason, the main objective behind it all was, I remember I was still in class 11. So that time, when you're in class 11, everything hits at the same time everywhere. So you cannot maintain a clear focus anywhere. But that was the time that I think it was about the middle of the college year that I understood that, okay, agribusiness is my lane.
Okay.
Because like my parents have been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
They've been doing like fruits, spices, they've been trying all that. So it gave us a very good footing because they would take us to the farm, they would teach us everything, like then and there we would get so much exposure, like it's very first hand. So it's very organic, see, because we got it as it was. So that time they did a background check on our state. So majority of our state is an agriculture state. Majority of it is like...
In fact, majority of the states in India.
Yeah, it's like an agrarian state. So just by logic wise, I was just looking at our state. Majority of the landmass is mostly either agricultural land or forested land. So being a commerce student, you have to do your market survey and all that stuff. All those came into mind and I thought, okay, I already got the skills. My parents already trained us up like this. Our state is an agrarian state, so I will have to push. I wanted to push towards agribusiness. So that's when it started. And, just the whole healthy living, healthy eating thing came into play. Like at home also, our father is very avid with healthy eating. He's till now, he's 60 plus and he's still, his strength is very up there. So it gave us a lot of inspiration just by looking at him. And then we understood, okay, this really has a very firm objective with this. And if we go ahead and it will benefit one and all, not only us as well.
Now, see, what question comes to my mind is that you have been very fortunate to have city parents who are still very close to the soil, which is very, very rare, and a lot of our children, we ourselves struggle to connect with the soil in that sense. What would be your advice to the young people, because all of India is listening right now, to the young people who would want to walk on your footsteps, but they don't have that exposure?
Okay, first step, it correlates to your footsteps. Take off your shoes, step on actual soil and clay, then you can understand, because there's an actual chemical reaction that goes on if you go barefoot on the soil. The nitrogen reacts with your soil. And the moment you keep that going for 1 week plus, there'll be like a sudden change, your whole cycle, your whole everything, inward and outward, everything changes. So it does correlate to a footstep. You can, once you start from there, then everything else you can hear, you can see. You might as well hear the grass grow as well also. Give it time. But then everything else comes there because there has to be a bond.
Connection.
Personally, I find that because if we're going to the farm, I want to be connected to the soil. Once we're doing that, there's like a delicate, like you used to say in Khasi, there's Ktintaman. They used to say that you have to understand, you have to talk. Let's say your animals, your livestock, or maybe whatever you're growing, communicate with them because they're also living beings in a sense. So it comes down to that connection. And once that is there, then everything else, it just follows. And
So let's learn something very remarkable about the flourishing of our plants when we speak to them. Do you speak to your plants that they grow well? Because I've heard that doctrine,
Yeah. Sometimes, because when it comes to these productive, like high-yielding plants, because we're doing an array of produce, we're doing everything from spices to horti to even fruits. Me personally, when it's time to harvest, so at least once a year I used to say, okay, thank you. Because of you guys, we're getting all this.
And I think you can sing to your plants, right? You can sing and you can talk to them. Because that has been proven in plants and flowers in your garden, kitchen garden, that if you speak to them or you pray over them or you sort of connect verbally to them, they grow very, very well. And it's scientifically proven that if you don't speak to them or you curse them, they die.
Yeah, it's true. I think I saw that research once.
Yeah.
It was in Geo or something, where they were like experimenting in a room talking. So there was some sort of chemical reaction, like they were reacting in such a way if you talk to them negatively and positively. So it's a nice.
So I would recommend farmers to sing and talk sweetly to their plants anyway. So my next question to you, Afu, is there are many urban consumers who only see vegetables on supermarket shelves. So can you take us through the journey of your produce from the farm to their plates?
When it comes to this organic farming, we've been doing it for quite a while now. So I can say that with time, we've gained a good amount of experience. So we've been involved in all three phases of the process, production to manufacturing to distribution. So let's say, for example, we'll talk about pumpkin. So when time has come to harvest it, after harvesting, because pumpkin is a very fast-moving produce, if you don't get it distributed within a specific set of time, it will get spoiled, and the market value also tends to deteriorate. So let's say we're talking about 1 week from harvest time to selling time.
Okay.
So us being organic farmers, not using any sort of boosters and all that, so usually it tends to get spoiled a lot faster because there's not any preservatives in it. So we have around, let's say, 5 to 7 days to get it done. So after we've harvested it, either there'll be a distributor who will come and take directly, who will source from our farms, or maybe if we have like a small stock, it doesn't really concern a big stock where you have like trucks and trucks of it. It's just a small stock, so we can take it directly, like direct selling, take it to the market, or maybe we'll take it to some third-party shops and all, and then it will get distributed to sellers there. So when it comes to supermarkets, right now we don't have a very huge network of supermarkets, but I have had a good amount of experience with airports.
Okay.
So what we understand from airports is that a lot of tourists, a lot of footfall in airports, obviously, like so many people from different places, every day they're coming and going. So how we harvest that, how we take that, we use that as a channel, we're selling our produce there. A lot of them, majority of them, they're coming from countries that are fully metro countries. Like they rarely even see farms and all that.
Yeah.
Over here, like that's all we see every day. You just go 10-15 kilometers out the city, you'll be seeing farms with paddy fields and all. Most of them, they don't see that anymore. So if they see like a raw pumpkin sitting there on the shelf, if you sell it for, let's say, $5, it goes to around $450. They will take it. So that's how we try to bridge that gap with people from other places and all, airports and then like train stations and all that. So there's still good channels of distribution.
All right, that's great. We ought to know about the immense effort behind every fruit and vegetable we buy. Well, if you could speak directly to city consumers, what is the one thing you wish they knew about the effort behind every fruit and vegetable they buy?
There's a lot of effort. I think I don't speak just for myself here, I speak for everybody else. All the organic farmers in our state, most of them, all the other guys have been doing this for so long. Let's say corn. You'd see like corn will be like on a seasonal, certain months you'll get corn. And then karambola, which is like in Khasi we call it soprashong. And then all these other seasonal fruits and vegetables, whatever it is, amount of work that goes into all those, it's a very huge amount of work. And I have so much respect for all the farmers in our state because doing it ourselves, we understand how much we have to prepare. We have to think about it months in advance. If you're talking about a huge pile of bulk orders, it's not just like 2-3 weeks of preparation. It's like months in advance. If you want to get it in max productivity, you'll have to take a lot of other precautions. Let's say you have so much livestock eating up your plantation, or you'll have to think about fencing, all that. So all those things, they come into play. So I have nothing but respect for every farmer.
Because, I think, again, as a farmer, they have to rely on certain things, that is the season, Correct? Too much rain will not
Yes,
do. Too
yes,
less
yes.
rain will not
Yes,
do.
the shade, everything, all those come into
the
play.
coming in of water,
Yeah.
maybe irrigation water if it is a paddy field. And also, we realize that the soil also has to rest.
Definitely,
Correct? You cannot use or overuse or abuse it over. Could you analyze on these
Yeah,
aspects?
it's a very good question because rarely people, like the common man, will never
Not
touch
know.
on that. There's a saying that there's an 8-year cycle with the soil. I think our father also told this to us once, but I read it and there's concrete research on it. If there's a 8-year cycle on your soil, so let's say you're cultivating it for 7 years continuous. For the 8th year, you have to leave it. You don't harvest it. Because if you harvest it, then for the 9th year, your crop will restart the cycle of getting the next produce ready. So it exerts a lot of nutrients from the soil. If you don't harvest it for the 8th year, what happens is all that produce that gets fruits and everything that comes out, it goes back into the soil. It kind of replenishes the soil in a sense. So if you leave it for the 8th year, the 9th year, it will be like restarting the whole cycle. So it's a very good question because not many people know that.
Know about it.
8-year cycle.
Yes.
If it's for 7 years continuous, you've been harvesting it, then let it rest. Leave it, whatever harvest comes out, don't harvest it, you just leave it there. And on the 9th year, then you'll get, the soil will be replenished itself.
We move to a very important and relevant question, which is coming up next. And now we talk about technology and how it can benefit a farmer. How do you use technology in today's world because you're a very educated youth?
It's very important. In 2026 onwards, technology, it's breakneck. It can define like, it's a difference of 1 to 1,000 I can say, 1 to 10,000 I can safely say. Using just simple Google ads or maybe just social media ads, it can drastically change your customer base, how much sales you're making in a month. It can drastically change.
And the reach of customers
Yeah,
also.
it can go anywhere and everywhere. It might not be Asia, it might not be just Europe, might depends. But I can not deny that the internet till now itself, it's a very useful tool. It has to be used. I mean, our state government has been helping farmers in so many ways.
Yes.
They've put up government e-marketplace. You can market your produce there. And then you have all these mega market that the state government has launched. And all these other different platforms there's so many platforms now. We can take.
And I see that there are apps like what used to have Blinkit and Samoy and all, where they bring from the farm to the city, brings from the farm to the household doors, home delivery is available.
All those channels we have to take to our advantage now because it's there. I mean, they get the job done and the results are very positive at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, we've learned so much about farming and about farm to city. Afu, thank you so much for coming to our studios. We would have loved to speak more. Thank you so much. That's all we had. But before we wind up, any one last message, maybe in one line that you would like to give to all our listeners listening right now?
Go out, take your shoes off, step on soil, touch the grass, touch the trees, feel it all, feel it coming in, feel it going out. Then itself, life will open your eyes, inside and outside.
Well, that's very well said. And thank you so much for coming to our studios.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that's truly inspiring. That behind every meal we enjoy lies the hard work, resilience, and dedication of our farmers. Every grain of rice, every fruit, and every vegetable on our plate has a story of patience, care, and countless hours spent in the field. As consumers, we often focus on the final product, but rarely think about the people who made it possible. Building a stronger connection between farmers and consumers is essential, not only for supporting local agriculture, but also for encouraging healthier food choices and sustainable farming. Well, listeners, we hope you have been informed and learned from our young farmer today who was Afu Jana. I am your anchor, Dr. Janet Dakar. That was in our second episode of Farm to City. See you in the next episode.
अरे क्या कर रहा है? इधर हम बोल रहे हैं तेरे बीजू का
उतला बोल रहा है?
पक्षियों से तो हम खेत को बचा लेते हैं, पर इन घातक रसायनों से कैसे बचाएं?
मतलब?
देख बेटा, तू जो ये अंधाधुंध रसायन मिलाता है ना, मिट्टी की सेहत बिगड़ने लगी है। और जब माटी ही कमजोर पड़ जाएगी, तो उपज कैसे सेहतमंद होगी? अरे पहले ऐसा नहीं था। पूछना अपने बड़े बुजुर्गों से कैसे फसल लहलहाती थी, शुद्धता झलकती थी। हाँ, माटी भी तंदुरुस्त और लोग भी। अरे अब पहली वाली बात कहाँ,
पर अब तो सभी डाले हैं।
सब नहीं, आज भी लाखों जागरूक किसान परंपरागत विधि से फसल उगा रहे हैं। खर्चा कम और उपज की कीमत भी बेहतर पा रहे हैं।
सच है?
रे बेटे एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहे हैं, धूप में बाल सफेद नहीं किए हैं। हाँ।
ठीक है भाई, मैं भी आज से जैविक खेती शुरू करूंगा।
माटी से प्रेम की परंपरा है, परंपरागत खेती।
This program is sponsored by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare.